Hey everybody, welcome back to TBOG. Glad you made it back. Hope you had a good week. Before we get delirious, we're gonna get just a little bit serious, okay? My brother Joey Livingston to my right, guest host. I'm Matt Rhodes,
Assistant
guest host to the guest
Assistant
host.
to the guest host.
And I'm going to pass the mic to my brother Joey, and he's going to lead this conversation.
Yes. Yeah, this show is called The Beginnings of Greatness, and we take that lightheartedly most of the time. But I want us to be able to do more than just joke around all the time, you know.
Yes.
And I'm being very, very serious. I love to joke around, but something very serious happened this week, and it took the wind out of me when the Connecticut shooting happened.
Right.
I remember, and I'd like for you to kind of share your thoughts as well. But I remember that morning, just beginning my day. Kind of, I had gone for a walk, etc., and I come back in, and I was on Facebook, and one of our friends, Heather Palmer, in fact, she wrote a message. She said, "Be sure and give your kids an extra hug today." And then she said, "I can't express the depth of sadness that I'm feeling right now." And I had no idea what was going on. I said, I thought that the Palmers had a personal family loss, and I was really concerned about it.
Yeah.
And I started looking on their Facebook pages to see if I could find out what happened, because it seemed like the people who were liking the post, etc., knew what they were talking about, but I didn't. So I didn't. Right before those posts, it was all cheery and stuff, and there was no links to what she was talking about. There's no explanation, and so I messaged Dad and Mammy, Dr. Jones and Rhonda, and I said, "Do you guys know what's going on with the Palmer family?" And I said they messaged this, and it's not making any sense to me. And as soon as I did that, I went back to the news feed on Facebook, and then I found some links.
Right.
Connecticut shooting at an elementary school, and I had to be honest. My initial reaction is not something that I'm proud of. I mean, it's certainly defensible, because my first reaction was, because these shootings, they happen from time to time.
Right.
The
last one was at the movie theater in Colorado.
Right.
Not too long ago.
So my first reaction was going from a place where something extremely tragic had happened to somebody who was somewhat close to me, so someone that I knew, the Palmer family,
right.
To this shooting, which I didn't know anybody there. So my first reaction was, oh, something did not happen to the Palmer family.
Right.
And there was a moment of relief there, and I honestly thought my day would move on.
Yeah.
That I would just, I would check in, I would find a little bit of information about it, because I felt the sadness, but I thought that it would just be a thing where, like when the theater shooting happened,
right.
I knew about it,
yeah.
and I moved on.
Right,
I kept working that day. But I made what could potentially be argued to be a mistake, because I pulled up the ABC Live feed, and that was the end of my day.
Yeah.
I couldn't think about anything else after that. 18 children, wasn't it?
20 children.
I thought it was 20 altogether, but
yeah. No, 20 children.
20 children plus the adults.
Right.
And both of my kids are that age.
Yeah.
And
most were 6 and 7. Yeah. Most were 6.
And so just, watching these children come out of the school, watching the parents, they I saw this picture of this woman who was on a cell phone by her truck, and she looked like she was about to collapse.
Yeah.
And my thought was that's a parent who's found out that
right,
their child didn't survive.
Right. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, that'd be super, super tough. And I don't have any kids myself that I know about, but I got some nieces and nephews, and I felt bad, and little cousins, and I was thinking about them, and it was tough. So I couldn't imagine being a father and thinking about it.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot tougher.
Somebody who's close to me, one of their first reactions was, they were very upset at the person who did this, rightfully so.
Right.
I mean, it's an outrageous thing, and I certainly can understand that reaction from the parents. I can understand that reaction from people looking on. But they asked me the question, because they knew what I believed. I believe that God loves everyone.
Right.
Everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
The people who were shot and the shooter, both of those people,
right.
Both those groups of people, God loves both of them.
Right.
And so this person asked me, they said, I guess you believe that this person is going to heaven, and I don't want to name their name because they have a right to what they believe,
right.
and I should respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with the position, but I'm not going to call them out. But my immediate reaction was, yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that this person is going to heaven.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that, I have seen people saying that, I hope that guy rots in hell.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah.
And just, that's light stuff.
Right.
There've been a lot worse said.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to defend the guy, and I'm certainly not defending his actions.
Yeah, no way.
What he did was horrible. But you can't be like that. You can't go and kill a bunch of kids and kill your mom first and not have some serious mental issues.
Right. Serious.
That's not a scenario that's possible. Like a rational person couldn't say, well, I think I'm going to go and kill a bunch of people today.
Right. That wouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have big time mental issues.
I can't even see somebody being able to do that if it was not against the law. If there wasn't a law that said don't kill people, I can't see a rational person going out and just murdering a bunch of people.
Right.
Yeah. It demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the value of human life, a failure to understand, a failure to empathize with it. And that's a problem that person has and did not receive the kind of help that he needed.
Right.
And I'm not blaming the mom, I'm not blaming the dad, I'm not blaming the brother. I'm just saying if he had gotten the help that he needed, that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
If I was in their position and my child was as disturbed as this young man was, I don't know what I would do. I don't know that I would have succeeded in curing him, so to speak.
But you would have taken him to some type of counseling.
Yeah, but the point is that there isn't anybody in this world that is just evil because they're a rational person. They know exactly what they're doing, and they have just decided that they're going to be evil and kill everybody. Every evil act that happens in this world happens as a result of not understanding something or not being capable of really grasping what life is actually all about.
Right. There's something missing in your in your brain. Or in your heart.
Yeah. And there were I didn't read this myself, but I was told by, I believe it was Mammy, said, I think she said it on Reflections, that there was, I think it was maybe Tina that said it, I can't remember, that said that there was some parents whose children died that expressed sympathy for this young man. Yeah. That had done this. Yeah. And, I don't know if I could do that. If that had been my kid,
that'd be tough.
But I can't do anything but admire that and agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That the whole thing was tragic.
Yeah, yes it was.
But anyways, that's all I want to say about that.
All right.
And And we're going to move on. Our hearts go out to the parents whose children are no longer with us.
To the parents whose kids had to see stuff that they
to all the children that were there, and had to go through that. And one thing I really feel bad about is talking so much about the killer.
Right.
And it can be very engulfing to just. I mean, it's almost an infinite question. What could cause somebody to do this?
Right.
You just cannot comprehend it.
Right. And no matter what answer or motive they give, you're like,
so,
yes, you still.
But here's the deal:
no
a lot of good people suffered and died, and Morgan Freeman actually. I'm getting these thoughts from something that I read that Morgan Freeman said.
Okay.
He said that the sad thing is that everybody's going to remember the name of this killer, and that very few are going to remember the name of the victims.
Right.
And I don't know a name of I could, if I tried real hard, I could pull one out that I remember a story about, but I'm not going to try and guess. But I need to learn some of the names of the victims, and remember them. It's not that that the killer just needs to be thrown away as trash. He's a problematic person who needed help, but the victims, the people whose lives were destroyed by him, they need to be remembered. And there were a lot of heroes in that story. Teachers who gave their lives to protect their children.
Yeah, a lot of brave teachers. The principal, the psychiatrist, I believe, for the school.
Yeah, I believe they determined that both the principal and the psychiatrist basically tried to lunge at the gunman to take him down and failed and gave their lives doing so. And there was at least one teacher who hid her children and put herself in front of the gunman and saved most of her children because of her actions.
Yeah, I heard about that. You got to be real brave to do that, or love them kids a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it's love. I think that bravery is a shadow of the effects of love. It may be scary, but I think that it can be easy to be brave and courageous if you love the people you're protecting.
Right.
But anyways, I just wanted to end on that note. I have sympathy for all, but I didn't want to end on the gunman.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to pick up the. Let's go to the overall shot. See, Dr. Jones doesn't like this third shot, but I love it.
We love it.
It shows the raw, the rawness of this studio that we often hide from you. Camera here, camera here. We're not afraid to show it to you.
We ain't scared.
We're not scared.
We ain't scared.
We're not scared. So I like this shot. We're going to transition with this shot to an interpretive dance.
Ooh, I love interpretive dance.
Yes, my daughter has written a small play, musical, interpretive dance, and she has included her brother, and Matt is going to do the reading of the story that she has written, and I am going to provide musical accompaniment.
It's going to be awesome, folks.
Yeah. So you don't have to stay on this shot. Yeah, there you go. Good decision, crew member.
Way to go.
Yeah, sometimes crew member makes good decisions.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But when he does make them, we like to applaud him.
Right.
Let's show that respect.
Remind me to talk about William Caicedo Torres later.
Will do. Here comes our two little stars coming up to the stage.
All right.
Everybody get ready for this.
I'm going to ask our stars to
ready for this?
take position over here to the off stage. Right over here.
Off stage.
Off camera.
Over here.
Well, I want you to start off stage. And then when I say your names, you can come off stage and take a drink of water.
Boom. Boom. Listen to him drink that water. Further off stage. Further off stage. Further off stage. Further off stage.
All right. Let me get my instrument.
Getting his instrument. Is your instrument clean, or do you need to wipe it off?
I think it's good.
All right.
All right. So let me pull it up here. Okay, I'm going to turn my microphone upside down. We're going to do a quick sound test on my instrument.
Sound test, everybody. Stay tight. Stay tight.
All right, here's the sound test.
Sound test.
Hearing that?
Y'all hearing that good?
Okay.
Yeah, you
Hear
are.
that good? Here's another test.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that? All right. Here we go. I'm going to start the music, and then Matt's going to begin the reading.
Once there was a prince and a princess. The princess went out to the woods. And so did the prince. And the prince went out to the woods. Princess went out to the woods by herself.
Princess went out to the woods by herself. And then the prince called the princess.
Gotcha. The princess is in the woods. And the witch caught the princess. And the prince called the princess. Saved that princess.
Save her. Save her, son. Okay, easy.
And then the prince called the princess and the king and queen. And the king and queen consented. And they got married. And guess what, folks? They lived happily ever after.
Take a bow. Come out and take a bow.
Way to go. Good show, mate. Good show.
All right. Let's
Yeah. Hey, what do you know?
Okay, come up and show us what a good joke is, son. Gavin,
Show us that good joke.
come up and he said this is a good joke. Come up and show him a good joke.
I want to see if it's funny or not.
We're gonna show them the good joke. Show them a good joke. Right, look right in the camera. Show them a good joke.
I want to see that joke. I want to see that joke.
I'm serious. Let's see the good joke.
Do it. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, thank you. It's a pretty good joke. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, I like that kind of stuff.
You like butt jokes.
I do. Good job, Gavin. I like fart jokes, butt jokes, poop jokes.
You don't say.
I love them.
My goodness. We learn something new about our friend Matthew every day.
Did you want to do a little poetry, or would you like to talk about our friend William Castedo Torres first?
Well, I just, every now and then we need to drop in on our friend William, conversationally speaking.
Yep.
Because he's a character, and he does some things that are a little odd from time to time.
You got it.
Did you want to?
Would you call him an oddball?
I would call him. What's the Spanish term for oddball?
Oddballa. Oddballa. El oddball. I believe that's what it is. El oddball.
I don't think that's true.
I'll look it up on Google Translate later.
Okay. Anyways,
I'd call him an oddball in English.
Would you like to tell our audience what his recent escapades have been? He insulted one of the people here.
William's show comes on before ours, which everyone knows because that's the only reason they watch the show is because ours comes on right after.
That's
and they
harsh.
Want to sit in.
That's
the only reason they watch the show.
That's not true.
But we was calling William to get him ready for the show.
You know what? Hey, listen.
There are a lot of people who love William.
We need to be nice, okay? Because
listen to this nice guy.
We need to return goodness for any badness that we see from anyone. I'm not naming names.
William Casado Torres. It's very bad. And
I wasn't going to say that.
And you wanted me to tell a whole story about it. Well, here it goes about William's being bad to us, or our crew member. We called up William to get him set up for a show. And he says, "What is crew member's real name?" And what did we say?
That was an odd question.
Right.
That's like saying, "What is Matt's real name?"
Right. What is Joey Livingston's real name? You'd be like, "Dude, my real name's Joey Livingston. My real name's Matt Rhodes."
And why are you asking that question?
Right. Why would you even ask it?
What does that imply about the person that you're asking it about? Like you have some sort of alias.
Right.
Like you're hiding something.
Right. Like you're living in the shadows.
Like you're a criminal.
Right. Right. But crew member is so respectful and nice and loving that he replied back to William
very gently, very plainly.
My real name's crew member.
Yeah.
Broke my damn heart when I heard it. Broke it.
And what did William do?
I think William laughed.
He laughed.
Yeah, he did. Laughed right in crew member's face. Laughing right in crew member's poor little face. It's heartbroken.
Do you have anything that you want to say to William?
William. Oh, and wait, hold on. I got some more stuff
No,
he did
we don't
bad.
need to
One
tell.
more thing that
No.
he did bad. Not that.
Okay,
Not
all
that.
right,
Different thing.
Okay.
He still didn't believe crew member's real name was crew member. So he began to call us freaks. What
He did.
Wackos,
He
something
did.
like that.
He did.
Weirdos.
It's not the first time he said that.
Then he
about
said
us.
it must be a Pensacola thing. Everybody down there.
Again
is
with the
weird.
racism.
Right. Racist William Casado Torres. But we still love him. And this is what I want to say to you, William. Even though you've been extremely racist to my whole entire city, we love you, and we love having you on the place, and we'll keep showing your filth every week just because we love you. But
I told you to be nice to him. That was a low blow.
Well, filth in Spanish means you're enlightened.
We have given William such a hard time on this show that he refuses to even admit that he likes the show, even in private.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so you need to.
Well, he
lay
should
off.
know that. Of course, I really don't think it shows filth. It's a little trashy, but it's a good show. I watch it every week, and I think you should too. And William's
What words did we hear him say today? I heard him say.
I heard him say Einstein.
Okay, yeah.
Talking about Einstein.
I can't remember the word that I heard him say at the beginning, but later we both heard him say something. I could have sworn that he said, "Let's eat us some demons."
Right, and then I thought it could have been Evil Knievel or
then we settled that it was evil boll weevils.
Evil boll weevils.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And William, if you could let us know if you said evil boll weevils
or let's eat us some demons.
Let's eat us some demons. I hope he said let's eat us some demons. That might bump up his show.
That shows that he's really on fire for the Lord.
Right. Let's eat up these demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's eat us some demons. It kind of rhymes. Let's eat us some demons. Let's eat us some demons.
Right.
Red cup. We didn't have any more big styrofoam cups, so I had to get this bright red cup to match my bright red beard.
All right. For our next segment, I need to tell a story, but I cannot tell it to you.
Okay.
Because the story involves you. You are allowed to respond,
right,
but you cannot be the person that I'm telling the story to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, Mammy, can you come up here and let me tell you the story?
Come hither.
Mammy, can you come up here? I know you're back
Oh, can you come up here?
Is she here? Okay, can somebody go get her?
Somebody go get her.
Yeah.
Somebody. Joey needs to tell the story to somebody.
Right.
Right away.
Why don't you tell me about your week while
my week was.
Where did our picture go? What's going on?
My week was a happy week. Nothing. Ever get a cramp in your side? Hurts. My week was pretty good. Didn't do much. I went. When was it? Friday.
All right, sit tight, Mammy. I need to tell you a story. So I'm gonna need you to come up here in a minute
with your son, Gavin.
Please, I need to. No, just wait. Did you have anything important?
Me and you went and saw the show, The Hobbit, with Gavin, and it was a pretty good movie.
Okay, let's have Mammy come up here and trade places with Matt.
Come on, Mammy.
Tell her this story.
Get on up here. Look at you. What you wearing? Some type of polo? You ain't no polo player.
All right. Hello, Mammy.
Hey, son.
Say that again. There you go.
Hey, son.
Yeah, you got to say it into the microphone.
Hey,
this your voice actually goes into there. If you don't have that there, they can't.
I didn't know
hear
that.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I learn something new every day.
Yeah. I live to teach. So, anyways, I want to tell a story, but I can't tell it to Matt because he will ruin the story because the story involves him. Okay. All right. So, Matt and I went to a movie this weekend with my son, Gavin.
I'm aware.
All right. And before that, we went to the Mellow Mushroom, which is a pizza place right by the movie theater. Okay. And so after we got done eating pizza, we were outside, we were hanging out by the garden. And in the garden, they have these skipping stones. Okay. Really beautiful rocks. Okay. Probably expensive as well. Each rock was probably $10. Okay. I don't know that. I just made that up, but it could be true. So anyways, Gavin started admiring him, my son. Okay, my son is 5 years old. Very, what's the word you would use? Influenceable? Is that the word I'm looking for?
Easily influenced.
Yeah. You know, he's a sponge of learning. Okay. And he looks at the rocks and he said, Daddy, I want one of those rocks. Okay, so this is an opportunity for me to foster, good behavior, good decision making in my son. Right.
For change.
I don't know what you mean by that, but anyways. So I said to him, well, son, these rocks belong to somebody. The people here that own this restaurant, they bought the rocks and they put it here. And, it may not look like much, but if everybody had that attitude of, that's a pretty rock, I will take that rock, they wouldn't have any more rocks. And they paid for those rocks, so... and it's going well. My son's listening to me, and as I'm doing it, Matt interrupts and says, I want one of those rocks too. And he bends over and he picks up a rock and he puts it in his pocket. This is your son. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it was a bad influence, a bad example. That's just my judgment right off the bat.
That's how I felt. And it really, it felt like a betrayal.
It was a knife in your chest.
Yeah, it was. I think you said it. I think you just said it all. So, I was just shaking my head, and there really wasn't anything left to say. But fortunately, Gavin wasn't like, oh, yeah, well, Uncle Matt took one, I'll take one. He didn't do that.
Thank God.
So I was proud of him, So we went to the movies, and I'm thinking, I'm still worried that he really looks up to his Uncle Matt.
He does.
So how do I fight this malevolent spirit that my brother is trying to put in his nephew's heart? But I got an idea. All right. So we watched the movie. After the movie was over,
Let me ask you this. Okay. During the whole movie, could you even enjoy the movie without thinking about how you were going to bring this to a head after the movie? Could you even concentrate on the movie?
I'm having a hard time concentrating now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm still angry about it. I contain my anger well. I'm still working on I'm still working on forgiveness, which is just like stage 1. Wow. But I definitely haven't got the don't ever even hold against part. But one thing I'm a master at is suppression. I figured that out. So I just like cram it like way
You do.
down.
I could have told you that. You didn't have to think about it.
I'm great at that. And, and so that's, it's like my daughter, she has a real anger problem. I can't teach her forgiveness or to just let it go, but I can show her how to suppress. Yeah. Okay. I can teach her that. Yeah. It's just one thing that a father can give to his daughter.
God, you're a good dad.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyways, so after the movie was over, a light bulb had gone off during the movie. And, so Gavin sat in front with me. He asked Uncle Matt if he could sit up front with me, and Uncle Matt said sure. So Uncle Matt got in the back, and Gavin got in the front. We were driving off.
So Gavin, how old is he?
He's 5.
And okay, so he's allowed to sit in the front seat of the car. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's not really that's not the subject of the story. Yeah. I really got you up here because I thought you would really support me, but anyways, I'm not mad. So we're driving out of the parking lot, and I turned to my son. I said, Gavin, I said, what do you think? Do you think it was right for Uncle Matt to take that rock? And he said, no, that wasn't right. And I said, do you think that we should give him an opportunity to give it back? And Uncle Matt's in the back going, And he said, yeah. And I said, well, what do you think we should do? You think we should just drive up there and give him an opportunity to put the rock back? And he said, yeah, I think we should do that. And I said, do you have anything that you want to say to Uncle Matt? And he said, Uncle Matt, you need to put that rock back.
Oh, wow.
And so we're driving over there, and Matt is in the back, and this is what he says. He kind of he mutters, and I think he tried to use a frequency that he thought only I would hear, but Gavin would not hear, like a dog whistle or something. Yeah. And he says, but I don't want to put the rock back. And I turned to my son. I said, well, that's okay, son. We're just going to drive over there. And we're just going to stop and just give him the opportunity. And if he doesn't want to put it back, we'll just go on. Okay. Gavin says, okay. So we drive up there, and I'm thinking Matt's just going to get out and he's going to pretend like he's putting the rock back. So I said, son, we'll just park right here so that we can see really well your Uncle Matt putting the rock back. And at that point, Matt just rolled down the window and just chunked the rock resentfully, just like he wanted to keep it. Yeah, he really wanted to keep it, and he's not a
good spirit.
I appreciated that what he had been cornered by was I had put in his face that he was, are you going to teach my son something good or not?
Right.
So I appreciate that he buckled to that.
He did. He did.
But he was just full of just spitting resentment.
Do you think Gavin picked up on that?
No, I don't think he did.
You don't think your son picked up on that? I hope not.
Yeah.
What a horrible lesson.
So, anyway, do you have anything that you want to say to me or to Matt before he comes back up?
Well, I'm ashamed of you both. Matthew for stealing the rock.
Mostly him.
And you.
I didn't do anything.
More than anything.
What?
For caving into letting your son sit in the front seat of the vehicle.
That was the highlight. He loved that.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? When I was a kid, no seatbelts, no.
Yeah. I would like to hear the story about you driving Gavin in the back roads and having him duck his head so that the police officers wouldn't see him.
Okay.
Am I making that up?
No.
Okay.
Bye. I'm out of here.
All right. All right, so let's move on to the next segment.
You said I could respond.
I did say that.
I wish I first of all, when I took the rock, I didn't say, ooh, I want one too, and did it in front of y'all.
I just drank your tea. You totally said that.
Dude.
That's okay. I love you. You love me.
All right, listen. I didn't say that.
It's man love.
You had turned around.
Here, take a drink of this. It's man love.
You had turned around. Gavin was looking at me, and I grabbed a rock and looked at Gavin and put it in my pocket.
No, and then you said something.
No.
You said, I want a rock, and you put it.
No, I didn't say I want a rock. I just grabbed it and put it in my pocket, but Gavin saw me. And then we was walking back to the car, and your son tattletaled on me. He said, Daddy, Uncle Matt took a rock. I was like, dude. And I was getting it for him.
Is that how it went?
That's how it went. He said, Daddy, Uncle Matt took a rock. I'm like, dude. And just earlier, Gavin, if you see this
sure
show.
you're right about that.
Just earlier in that night, your dad was pumping gas, and you said something real mean, and he was like, "Please don't tell my daddy. Please don't tell." And I said, "Dude, I'm not gonna tell your dad." And then you turn around and tell on me for grabbing a rock. Anyway, all right,
Don't cuss out my son on air.
I didn't cuss him out.
I feel like you're about to. Just feels like you're about to.
Scolding him a little bit. You need a little warm water to scold you. All right, but we got back in the car, and you started talking about bringing The Rock back before we even went into the movie theater. And then I said, no, I asked the manager while y'all was using the bathroom if I could have The Rock, and he said yes, which was a lie. But blatant lie in their face. But ended up watching the movie. I'd forgotten all about The Rock, and
but I did not.
But obviously Joey harbors all this, suppresses all this stuff, and then when it comes out, it comes out.
Sometimes it works to my advantage.
Right. So he wanted to teach his son a lesson, so he put him in the front seat, and then we drove. The Mellow Mushroom's not too far away. Drove by, and I did the right thing just because Gavin was there. I wanted that rock. Had Gavin not been there, I would have kept the rock. Mellow Mushroom, I would have kept it. I liked the rock. It was nice and shiny. They had tons of them. They probably cost 1 cent.
I don't think not.
They probably
that
cost
rock.
1 cent.
I don't think it cost $10, but I bet you those
bulk.
rocks were so nice. I bet you each of those cost at least 25 cents.
They just came out of a river.
Dude, they were nice.
Probably 10 cents.
Smooth and round. No, I think they were more than that. That's the kind of stuff. I mean, they didn't even have many of them. They just had like just a gathering of them around that.
You don't know how deep that was.
Statue.
It could have been 100 feet deep.
Yeah.
Anyway, I gave back the rock, but next time I go to Mellow Mushroom,
You're going to get the rock.
look out. I'm going to get the rock back. But it was probably a while for the Mellow Mushroom. It was an okay pizza. I didn't enjoy it that much. But it did its job.
You know, my wife actually stole a rock from Disney World on our honeymoon.
And now it's like probably a thing between y'all two.
Still,
it's our rock. Look at our rock.
no, I've never forgiven her.
You're harboring hatred against your wife.
It was wrong. And
what'd you tell her as soon as she grabbed the rock?
she's never repented about it.
What'd you tell her as soon as she grabbed it? Hey, woman, that belongs to Disney. What are you, stupid? Are you trying to get us put in jail in South Florida? There's big old gnats down here. They'll bite you through the bars.
Are you mocking me?
No, I'm just asking, is that what you said?
That is pretty close to what I said.
See?
That's why I'm asking if you're mocking me.
Oh, no, I'm not mocking you. I'm just guessing what you'd probably say.
No, we were having fun. And I understand, a little something that isn't going to really harm anybody. I mean, Mellow Mushroom's a rich company, and so is Disney World, and it's just a rock, and it's a memory, and you've bought a bunch of pizza from them, or you've spent a bunch of time at their park, and it was like, I think it was like $200 a ticket or something to go to Disney World or something. I don't remember, but I remember the number 200, but I don't remember if that was for both of us. I think it was for each of us, 200 apiece. Yeah, and that was for like all the rides and stuff. And
that don't even count the food though, does it?
So I mean, you can figure out a way to justify it, but it is. I mean, it is arguably stealing.
It is, I mean, it basically is stealing.
It basically what it is stealing.
But hey,
so I'm not ready to teach my son.
That's why I put the rock.
Gray areas.
That's why I put the rock back.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to be a super cool uncle and get him the rock that he wanted.
Yeah, but you're teaching my son when I'm not ready to teach him that that sometimes stealing is okay, and he doesn't know how to figure out when it is and when it isn't.
Well, you could just say, "Hey, you don't steal. Don't steal. Don't steal. Don't steal. Don't steal."
That's not. He's
if you
going
see somebody
to look at his
steal,
cool Uncle
don't steal.
Matt.
If you see Uncle Matt steal, don't steal. If you see your mom steal, don't steal.
I had to take you down.
You took me down to the Mellow Mushroom where I threw the rock back.
Admit it.
I did it only if it was just me and you. No way I would have put the.
No, I know you wouldn't have.
But you wouldn't even have made me put the rock back.
No, I wouldn't have.
But because your son was there, I put the rock back.
Thank you
for your son.
I appreciate it. I appreciated your begrudging gesture at the end that you were cornered into.
Listen here, Gavin. Quit being a tattletale on your Uncle Matt. Tattletale about other people, but don't tattletale on me. Like I didn't tattletale on you.
I do teach him not to be a tattletale.
See?
I teach him, that the time for telling is when somebody's being hurt or when they're hurting themselves or they're hurting you. And basically that's it, or somebody's bleeding or something like that. If a kid does something and it's against the rules, you don't do that, but you don't need to go snitching on everybody all the time. It's just
not cool, man.
It ain't good. I mean, you can talk about cool.
Even
I kind of want my son to be cool, but more importantly, these kids get to a place where they're just trying to get each other in trouble. That's their main interest.
And also they're either sucking up to the parents or the teachers. I've seen teachers, somebody tell the teacher, "Hey, this person's doing this," and then the teacher say, "Quit being a tattletale, and you put that back." So if you be a tattletale, you're getting in trouble too by your teacher and parents. So only tattle if something big is going on wrong. Like, you see this, like, blood everywhere. You
definitely need to be brave if something is happening that's hurtful to somebody else. You need to tell somebody. But it's pretty pitiful to nitpick at every little thing.
Right.
Just find something to tell.
You see something,
my
stop,
two
drop,
kids do that to
and
each other
roll
all the time.
All the way
and
to
it drives me nuts.
Teachers. They tattletale on each other?
Yeah. Just to get each other in trouble.
Even though you're teaching them not to tattletale.
Yeah.
What do you got to do to teach them to not tattletale?
Dude.
What are you going to have to do?
One day you're going to become a dad, and you're going to realize how hard it is.
How many years have you been teaching them not to tattletale?
Ever since they've been telling.
Ever since they've been telling. I like that. But yeah, don't tattletale. But if you do see something bad, stop, drop, and roll down to your nearest official.
Well, you could argue that I just tattletailed on you.
You did, yeah, on my own show, where I'm the main host, as you like to call me.
I did.
Jeez, my knees. Look at this guy. And his
I think it's a pretty good exception to the rule.
His kids were on the show too.
Yeah, but they weren't watching. They weren't watching when I tattletaled on them.
Well, they're gonna watch it tomorrow when I make them watch it, and they're gonna see how
clip their eyes open.
Yeah, a little Clockwork Orange thing going. Watch Daddy be a tattletale, and then
Uncle Matt put a drop in your eye. You don't be a tattletale. You don't be a tattletale, but look at your daddy being a tattletale. Uncle Matt, don't make me watch this anymore. My eyes are about to bleed. No, you keep watching. You're gonna get the point.
Here's some Visine.
Beep beep.
Yeah.
What is it? LSD.
I believe it's LSD.
It's a LSD. Gavin.
LSD drops in their eyes. That's not good. I don't. You know what?
Now let's go to the mellow mushroom, Gavin. Whoa.
It's not funny anymore.
You're the one who brought up LSD.
I didn't.
Chicken butt.
I didn't realize it was about my children.
Didn't realize it was about us. We've been talking about your children for
it just all of
30
a sudden
minutes.
occurred to me, and now I'm incredibly offended. All right. Anyways, we got just a couple minutes left in our show here, and I think we've said all that we can say about Billiam.
Yeah, Billiam. We still love you, Billiam.
I believe that you coined the name Billiam.
Billiam. Yeah. It's like his nickname would be Bill.
But you just
you added William. Billiam. Yeah. Billiam.
Yeah.
Billiam Casero Torres.
Had a nice interpretive dance here.
I had a lovely interpretive dance. I liked it. Yeah.
I wish that there had been more dancing in the interpretive dance, but
there was a lot of standing.
This show is called The Beginnings of Greatness.
Right.
Okay.
We're not quite
and
there.
my kids are great, and this is their beginnings.
That's right.
They need a place.
They need a place to begin to be great too.
That's right.
And if this has to be the place for them, so let it be.
Yeah. The beginnings of greatness is on the place. This is the place to begin to be great.
Right. Watch the place so you can see the place where we begin to be great.
That's right.
Come and check us out. Next week we're gonna have a nice holiday episode.
Oh yeah, we've got a few extra minutes. We can discuss that. So we're gonna have a contest.
Sweaters.
That's right. Ugly Christmas sweaters are the new thing, and we're gonna jump right in the trend, and we're gonna have an ugly sweater contest. Hopefully, if both of us can get motivated to actually do it.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Last time I had a contest, it was a Halloween contest.
Yeah.
And
we put some socks on our.
It was a last minute thing.
At the last minute.
Yeah.
But this
was
time,
cool. You did a good job on the
maybe
costumes.
We'll go out maybe a whole day before the show and get our sweaters.
Make an actual sweater that we can wear.
Yeah, we won't make it out of garbage bags. This will be a real sweaters on next week's show, and I'll be doing a little reading to you and your kids next week. And some other surprises.
Are you going to read Christmas stories to our audience's kids?
Yeah.
So you're
to
actually
our audience and their kids if they want their kids to listen to it.
The nerve to tell our audience to bring all their children to watch next week's show. That's
if
and you think you have the history and clout to actually make that happen.
Listen, audience, if you want your kids to be entertained by A Christmas Story next week on this show, bring them around the TV, bring them around your computer monitor, and I'll read them a nice Christmas tale. If you, the parent, want your kid to see it, listen to it. It's not going to be filthy, but it's going to be good. And if I had kids, I'd let them watch. And I think we should have some kids here next week or gathered around us to listen to the story. Maybe we'll get some. We can find.
I mean, if you just
want
to find some random kids to bring in here to gather around, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm gonna let my kids be in that circle.
Yeah, no, I can find plenty of kids. We don't
just
need
random
kids.
children that we don't know.
I'll do that. I got a van. There's a lot of kids in this neighborhood. Plenty of seats. Bus them over here. Bring them around here when it's time for the Christmas story, and I think that'll make for good TV.
No need to talk to their parents about it. That'll just take too much extra time.
No, 'cause the parents should be cool with it. After I explain
you just
it.
assumed.
After
you can
I
explain it after.
Right.
Right.
Their parents will be cool with it after I explain.
You just let them know after what you were doing.
Why we brought their kids,
and they'll be
to
completely
this building.
completely cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give them a good explanation. 'Cause sitting around in a studio with no windows reading Christmas stories, there's nothing wrong with that. There's cameras, witnesses, nothing.
Poorly lit studio with no windows, cameras,
right,
and studio lights.
And a big, thick steel door at the front. That is big deadbolt.
Sounds like a brilliant plan.
So stay tuned for that one. Stay tuned all the way till next week if you want. We'll be here.
Make your own decision, folks. See you next week.
Bye, gang. There's the big shot. See you next week.